As you know, spring has sprung and the flowers are starting to bloom, and maybe we should be too. Leadership expert and author Pete Blank joins us now to talk about how we can bloom where we are planted.
Yeah.
All right, let's first explain the phrase. What do you mean by that?
Well, bloom where you're planted, it can be lots of things. You've heard life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Remember
right.
the old Army commercial way back in our time, be all you can be type of thing? And so the whole idea, it actually came out, I believe it started back in the 1600s. There was a Bishop of Geneva who used the phrase. And I think what we're trying to get to today is there's some things in our lives, some circumstances that aren't good. Maybe we don't feel like everything, but wherever we're placed at this time in life, wherever you are at this moment in life, you need to do your best at that position. You need to bloom at that position. You need to do. And when I drive around and see all of the flowers and trees blooming right now, and trees and flowers, they're blooming where they're planted. Mm-hmm. So the whole concept behind it is do your very best no matter what the circumstances.
You know, and there's some of those circumstances we can't control.
Right.
And I know a lot of times it's hard to find, difficult to find perspective in, you know, what I get positive out of this.
Right. Yeah, and a lot of times when we've got bad, and again, where we're dealing with perhaps elderly parents or kids are having issues or family issues or things like that, you can control your thoughts and you can control your attitudes, like it says right there. So, Mike, we can't always control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond to it. And I've always been a glass kind of full, kind of guy. And so you try to go through life with this whole idea that, you know, everything may not be great right now, but God's got me here at this moment, or I'm located right now. So let me do my best at this, no matter what the bad stuff is happening around me. I always use the analogy, have you ever gone like on a nice spring walk on a sidewalk and seen one flower popping up between the cracks?
Yeah, how's that happen, right?
Like, what is that doing there?
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, stop and go, well, that one flower knows that it brought joy to me at that moment. Wow, look at that. And what are we doing each day that maybe we got bad situations going on, but maybe we can affect you, we can affect somebody else, you can affect somebody who's out there. People are having a bad day, they're watching you to get cheered up. You're blooming where you're planted every single day.
Yeah, so it's really a motivation to keep things in perspective,
right,
and understanding, you know, that there's something we can learn from all these experiences.
Something else to think about, to take the analogy one step further as we're learning, trees and bushes can be transplanted. You know,
right.
So even if you're blooming where you are right now, what if you move somewhere else? What if you go to a different job, a different career, a different house somewhere? You could bloom there as well. So just because you're not where you're supposed to be right now, you don't feel like it, doesn't mean you don't do your best and you can't be transplanted somewhere else later.
I like that.
I think we should be bringing joy and happiness to everybody during this time. So no matter how bad your circumstances right now, bloom where you are planted.
Really like that. Pete Blank, leadership author, public speaker. We do appreciate it. That's
Thanks,
your
buddy.
Monday Motivation. We'll be right back. We'll go to the kitchen next.